To master one's emotions is not merely a skill, it is the foundation for true transformation in life. Emotional mastery is the quiet power that fuels success, well-being, and purpose. It allows for clarity when the path seems unclear, for balance when life's storms arise, and for strength when doubt tries to take hold. When emotions are aligned with purpose, every action becomes intentional, every challenge becomes a stepping stone, and life begins to unfold with greater ease and flow. This mastery is not about suppressing emotions or denying their existence. Rather, it is about recognizing their role, understanding their influence, and learning to navigate them with grace. Just as the strongest trees withstand the harshest winds by staying firmly rooted, emotional discipline serves as the anchor for personal growth and prosperity. It is the difference between reacting in the moment and acting with wisdom, between living in chaos and finding harmony. This journey toward mastery opens the door to deep transformation. And with this mastery comes the ability to reshape one's reality, to move with intention, and to prosper not just materially, but emotionally and spiritually. The process begins with understanding that emotional discipline is more than just control. It is the key to unlocking the next level of life's possibilities. Emotional discipline is like the rudder of a boat navigating the open sea. When the ocean is calm, it seems like everything flows naturally. But when the waves start to rise, a firm grip on the rudder is what keeps the boat on course. This control isn't rigid but flexible, adjusting to each new wave without ever losing focus on the destination. In everyday life, we face small and big challenges, and it's easy to get carried away by the emotions of the moment: anger, frustration, fear. Emotional discipline, however, is the subtle ability to recognize what we feel without letting those emotions control our actions. Think of emotions as water currents. Emotional discipline gives us the ability to swim against them when necessary or use their strength to move forward more efficiently. The key lies in self-awareness. It's not about ignoring what we feel, but learning to respond rather than react. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to get swept up in impulses, but someone with emotional discipline sees the bigger picture. It's like an athlete who, even when exhausted, stays focused on every move, knowing the real game takes place in the mind. Prosperity, in its essence, goes far beyond money or material goods. It's the feeling of being aligned with your own purpose, of progressing towards something greater. And emotional discipline is what keeps us from sabotaging that path. Imagine that every goal you set is like a seed. For it to grow, it needs care, patience, and resistance against the winds of discouragement. The lack of emotional discipline is like an internal storm: doubts, procrastination, impulsiveness. It's the terrain that suffocates the seed before it even has a chance to sprout. But with emotional discipline, you build a solid foundation where patience and resilience act as a shield against self-sabotage. Prosperity doesn't come just from effort, but from consistency. Small daily victories sustained by emotional discipline build the path to greater results. Those who flourish on their journeys aren't the ones who never fail, but those who manage to stay on course, even when the road is tough. When your emotions are aligned with your goals, every step, no matter how small, has a clear purpose. This is the true power of emotional discipline. It turns the possible into reality, one decision at a time. Imagine a towering tree in the middle of an open field. Its roots are deep, connected to the soil, while its branches reach for the sky. This is emotional discipline in relation to spirituality, a solid base that allows us to reach for something greater, something beyond the immediate. Emotional discipline is more than controlling impulses. It's about aligning the heart and mind with a higher purpose. When you balance your emotions, you create space for inner peace. And this peace is the fertile ground where spirituality blossoms. Amid external chaos, your soul finds serenity, as if in a secret garden where the noise of the world cannot penetrate. Spirituality, then, isn't just about religious practices or seeking the divine outside of yourself. It's deeply connected to how you relate to yourself. Emotional discipline teaches us to silence the inner voices that say we're not good enough, that life is just a series of problems. It's the anchor that allows us to look inward, recognize our emotions, and from that recognition, find a greater strength. When you master your emotions, no storm can shake the peace that lies inside you. This connection between discipline and spirituality creates a state of alignment where everything flows, where actions reflect the true essence of who you are. It's as if emotions cease to be passing storms and transform into gentle breezes that propel the boat of your life toward prosperity. Motivation is like a fire that needs to be constantly fed. Sometimes the flame is high, and other times it almost goes out. But emotional discipline is the fuel that keeps this flame alive, even when external circumstances seem to try to extinguish it. For motivation to be sustainable, it needs deep emotional alignment. It's not enough to just want something. You need to feel that it's in harmony with who you are, and emotional discipline is the compass that guides us to maintain this alignment. Think about how small daily practices can re-energize this connection, from short meditations upon waking to moments of reflection at the end of the day. These are simple rituals, but ones that nurture the spirit and keep the mind focused. It's easy to lose momentum along the way. Often, motivation runs out because we stop listening to our own emotions. We get caught up in the frenetic pace of life, trying to meet goals without really feeling that they have value for us. Emotional discipline makes us stop, breathe, and find that alignment again. And when our actions, thoughts, and emotions are in sync, motivation is no longer a fragile flame. It becomes a steady fire that pushes us forward. Even in the face of the greatest obstacles, life is a river. Its waters flow continuously, winding around rocks, falling over waterfalls, finding unexpected paths. For those in this river, the choice is clear: fight against the current or learn to flow with it. Emotional discipline teaches us to choose the second option, allowing us to live lightly, even in the face of challenges. When we are emotionally disciplined, we find balance. It doesn't mean difficulties will disappear, but we'll face them with less internal resistance. The stress of everyday life, conflicts, and moments of uncertainty lose some of their weight when we learn to flow rather than fight against them. It's like navigating turbulent waters with confidence, knowing the storm is temporary and that calm will soon come. Flow isn't inertia, it's continuous movement. And to maintain that movement, we need emotional discipline to adjust our sails, redirect our course when necessary, and accept that we don't always control the flow of life. This balance, this dance between action and acceptance, is what allows us to live more lightly without losing direction. Developing emotional discipline isn't an immediate transformation. It's a daily process, built step by step. Imagine you're sculpting a statue. Every little detail matters, and progress may seem slow, but the final result is a masterpiece. The first step is self-awareness. Without it, we can't identify our emotions or recognize the patterns that pull us away from our goals. Practices like meditation, journaling, or simply taking a few minutes to reflect on the day can increase this self-awareness. This allows us to notice our automatic reactions and start changing course before they take over. Additionally, small daily rituals can strengthen this discipline. For example, choosing a daily practice that helps keep the mind focused, like a morning silence routine or practicing gratitude before bed. These moments, no matter how simple, create a solid foundation for dealing with emotions throughout the day. Remember, emotional discipline isn't about perfection. It's about making conscious choices, knowing that even when we make mistakes, we have the ability to redirect ourselves. It's the power to get back up after every fall, with more clarity and wisdom. Each small victory in emotional control strengthens this ability, allowing us to live more aligned, fluid, and prosperous lives. Emotional mastery is the gateway to a life of true fulfillment. When the power of discipline meets the clarity of purpose, every step taken becomes intentional, every challenge a moment for growth, and every decision aligned with a greater vision. This balance between discipline and purpose isn't just the key to overcoming obstacles. It's the foundation for living a life of deep meaning and lasting prosperity. In mastering emotions, we find more than control. We discover the strength to turn chaos into calm, fear into confidence, and uncertainty into opportunity. The transformation that begins within extends outward, shaping not just how life is experienced, but how success, peace, and purpose are attained. But this journey doesn't end here. Discipline alone creates a path, but when paired with purpose, it becomes unstoppable. The next step is understanding how these two forces intertwine to create a life that flows with meaning, prosperity, and alignment. For those ready to unlock the full potential of emotional discipline, take a moment to reflect on the next chapter. Discipline plus purpose, the secret to a fulfilling life. Watch this next video and discover how these two powerful forces, working together, can transform not just your emotions, but the very essence of your life's journey.